When it comes to being the ultimate poker pro, I turn to the words of one of my fellow countrymen. Some are born great. Some achieve greatness. And some have greatness thrust upon them. And it's the chance for the latter this time around, as an unfamiliar cast are thrown into the spotlight for the biggest showdown of their careers in one of the world's most glamorous locations.
The city, it's the best stop of the EPT, for sure.
From a record-breaking field.
Já de ter chego aqui já é bom feito, já para mim, já tô felizaço.
They've made it to the final table.
Hopefully I can win. It will be a tough one, but yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Now, it's time to stand up and be counted.
It would mean a lot to have a title under my belt. I've never actually won a live tournament.
It's time to rise above the pack.
I'm not gonna play scared. I might be the one who busts first, but I'm going for the win.
It's time to win a title. Every now and then we like to mix things up on the EPT and do something a little bit different.
I don't. We fear change.
Well, today we're mixing it up by showcasing an event from the local festival, the Estrellas Poker Tour.
It should be no surprise that 2K Estrellas High Roller has an EPT champion at the final table. It attracted all the EPT heroes and even some of the Justice League.
Well, also at the final table are 5 lesser-known heroes. They might not be household names, but they've all had big results, both live and online.
The Flash bubbled. Ironically, slow-playing aces.
First up, Vladimir Geshkombine. The mercurial Russian rushed onto the EPT scene back in 2011, taking down EPT7 Snowfest, but just as quickly disappeared. Brief sightings since include a couple of caches in Berlin, but now there's real incentive to be seen.
It's been a while since I final tabled something. I went close, but I never really made it in the past 3 years, so it's good to be back again.
Geshkombine leads a trio of short stacks at this final table, including Austria's Michael Cano, a musician and online poker specialist already guaranteed his biggest live cash. Then there's financial wizard Jordan Kaplan. The American money expert traded in number crunching for a full-time career on the felt and hasn't looked back.
There are no times when I think that I should have stuck with my well-paid job and continued poker as a hobby. I love playing poker for a living, and it's been a great decision so far.
Another player who switched careers is Josip Siminic. Once a top-flight sportsman in Austria, he now has a chance to take his poker earnings past the $1 million mark.
I played handball, and we have been drilled to win always, and that's also my mentality.
Bringing some South American flair is Felipe da Costa. He's already racked up 3 live wins back home in Brazil. Now he's looking for victory on foreign soil.
Eu sou super confiante, na verdade. Eu tenho uma confiança muito grande, uma autoestima muito grande, independente contra quem que eu estou jogando.
And finally, the man whose nickname sounds like it's come from a comic book. Having built his reputation from online and live success, Stefan Jedlička takes his seat as chip leader.
My plan for today is definitely to be attacking from the start. There's definitely some good players left. Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
A record-breaking field of nearly 1,200 paid the 2K asking price, generating a prize pool approaching 2.3 million. The winner will see their investment increased almost 150 times, taking home nearly 300,000 euros. So the 6 players vying for that big payout are now settled in their seats. A Brazilian, a Russian, an American, and 3 Austrians. Here on the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour.
Hello, my international babies.
We need to get rid of some of these Germans, man. We're outnumbered here.
Well, that's Captain America, I guess.
True.
Blinds right now, 100,000, 200,000 with a 30,000 ante. Action folded to chip leader Stefan Jedlička.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out. He looks like Rick Moranis. If he punts off his stack, we'll just call it Honey, I Blew Up.
He raises. Rounds one of the short stacks, Michael Cano.
All in?
He shoves with ace-queen.
Kano plays guitar and harmonica. If he's out first, he'll need him to sing the blues.
Jedlička is priced in. He calls.
All in, boys.
And at risk.
Ace queen, king 7. Both offsuit.
I like this guy.
Both offsuit, that's...
I'm under beide Hände.
I would be scared if you had like a suited king, but this is easy.
Bro, the point is here is a 7, that's the problem.
No. It's just German. We are
The king is not the problem. The 7 is the problem.
The spades might be the problem as well.
Chop it up. What do you have here?
King high flop.
King, 2 hearts, 3 hearts.
3 hearts, make it in. 3 of hearts.
3 hearts.
3 of hearts. 5 of hearts.
At least a sweat, like
5 of hearts or 3 of hearts?
some extra outs, please.
He's so chatty, I love it.
10 of hearts.
Yeah, jack of hearts, whatever. Just gut shot heart or ace.
Get out your harmonica. Just give me a sweat.
The turn card is a 10.
Ooh, booby! We need a jack. Jack, ace.
One time for the kid.
Kano now with 7 outs.
We got it in good, like I knew that we would.
TV.
Come on, TV.
Ace or a jack needed. It's a 3.
GG.
GG.
Michael Kano eliminated.
No, I would have liked to see more of him.
Hey, Vladimir.
Quick. GG.
Nice one.
Grazie, man. GG. Good game, but good luck. You survived it.
Good game,
Did you? Lost?
It was brief but meaningful.
Meanwhile, Stefan Jedlička increases his chip lead. He's now playing a stack of 13.27 million. Well, there's nearly 300k up top in this tournament. The remaining 5 are all guaranteed 6-figure scores now, as Michael Kano walks away with 89 grand.
I could have easily finished 9th or 8th, so this is a big jump ahead, and this is by far my biggest score. So I'm still very happy, even though like the bustle was a bit unfortunate.
You know, something tells me he's not a blues guy.
Action here is on Vladimir Geshkombine, who has an EPT main event title to his name. He folds. Felipe Costa also out. Jordan Kaplan is now the low man at the table. He gives up the button, so it's round to Stefan Jedlička in the small blind.
What does this mean that it says here he's from Wien?
Wien. That's what the Austrians call Vienna.
Vienna Schnitzel.
Jedlička raises with 8-4 suited. Simunic with 8-6 suited in the big blind.
The raise was standard small to big, and a call here would be standard also.
Simunic defends.
Used to be a professional handball player.
Oh, Jedlička flops top pair and a straight flush draw. Simunic currently ahead with 2 pair.
This could get dicier than a game of Yahtzee.
Jedlička continues for 600,000.
Simunic could raise, or he could call and try to trap.
He's counted out the call. He makes the call.
Oh, 600.
This Simunic stare down is an odd choice.
A 4 on the turn. Jedlička now with 2 pair, a worse 2 pair than Simunic.
This is going to be rough on Jedlička, but the 4-card straight should keep anyone from going broke.
He slows down. He checks. And Simunic checks behind. A jack on the river, changing nothing. And Jedlička doesn't know he's behind here. And he's going to value bet his 2 pair.
Tough to get called by worse, and he won't.
Nearly 1.2 million.
2 pair.
Quick call from Simunic.
Jedlička isn't going to like it, but he should thank his lucky stars. Simunic didn't raise the flop.
I win.
We know.
Jedlička still has a dominating chip lead.
Vor dem Turn geht's rein. Check Westolin, oder? Nicht fett.
Meanwhile, steady progress for the EPT 11 Deauville High Roller champ. Josip Simonic now has the second biggest stack behind his fellow countryman, Stefan Jedlicka.
Hello, my babies. Want to listen to more of my jokes and embarrassing stories without poker getting in the way? Subscribe to EPT Not Live on iTunes or download it from soundcloud.com/EPT.live. There's guests, competitions, online dating. You can even get some behind-the-scenes gossip on the show you're watching right now. That's right, more layers than an advanced Rubik's Cube, which has 2 layers. More layers than that. EPT Not Live.
It's going to be a bumper payday for one of the 5 remaining finalists in the Estrellas High Roller here at the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona. One player who should be able to handle the pressure is the man who's currently second in chips. Former handball pro Josip Simonic is now harnessing his competitive spirit at the poker table.
I played handball professionally in the first league in Austria for about 13 to 15 years. We had like 10 times training per week. Then poker came into my life and you cannot do both at the same time. So I just followed my heart and now I'm playing poker. The experience in handball, I think, helps me in my decisions, especially in live poker, to read people or to read like the game flow. So I think I know how to play poker, let's say it like that.
Since football is really called soccer, doesn't that mean handball should really be called Glover?
Eh? Blinds are still 100-200 with a 30k ante. Josip Simonic is in the big blind. Cash combined first to speak, he folds. Philippe da Costa also passes. Short stack Jordan Kaplan.
Are we sure that's Jordan Kaplan and not Jordan Knight of the New Kids on the Block? Can we put the no photo? Okay.
Owen.
Kaplan shoves from the button with king 8. Jedlicka folds the small.
1-4.
1-4?
1-4.
Count, please. Just to be 100% sure.
Simonic with ace 3 in the big.
Oh, that's 1.415 to be exact. Call's perfectly reasonable, by the way.
Simonic calls, putting Kaplan at risk.
Ja, ich wollte ihn auch schon heimschicken. Sie muss ihn heimschicken.
I like the king 8 here.
Now they can root for ace.
I mean, it's way better than king 7 and king 7 one, so it only makes sense.
Solid logic.
At least let me win this one. It's a kind of flip.
60-40.
What do I got? Clubs?
I got diamonds. Pow. And spades.
Here comes the flop. Queen Jack Deuce, ace high still ahead.
So viele Bilder. It's my cam build. Ass.
Jordan Kaplan is no ass, thank you.
Yeah, 10, ace.
No, first ace, please.
Yeah.
Not
River
10.
10, doesn't matter. Either way, it works for me.
No.
Turn card. There's a 9. Kaplan picks up more outs.
I do think Simonic deserves this one.
Dus ist gut. Dus ist gut.
Oh, stop speaking German.
7 auch gut. Ass gut. 5 gut. Alles gut. Viele gute Karten.
Kaplan needs a king, 10 or 8 on the river.
Dus.
It's a 6.
Good game, gents. Nice playing with you.
Jordan Kaplan eliminated in 5th place.
Also short, also brief. The good news is that Jordan can now head back to America where there's good Spanish food. Can't find a burrito here anywhere.
Burritos are Mexican. We've been through it before.
Thank you.
So Kaplan cashes out for nearly 116k. Bye. Well, now we're going to get into the mind of Mind Gamer and play a hand from the perspective of our chip leader.
Thanks.
You're welcome. As the blinds go up to 125-250. Button raised from Vladimir Gesh combined 525,000.
We don't have to be too worried about a button raise.
DaCosta in the small blind. Giving it some thought.
We would prefer that he folds, yes.
So what does Jedlička have in the big blind? King 3.
Yep, we are supposed to defend here. Against the min raise, there's not much else we can do.
Stefan calls. The flop. Ace, King, 10. Second pair for Jedlička. He checks the action to the pre-flop aggressor.
Vlad's gonna be raising pretty much everything on his button, and while that will include every ace, there are dozens of hands he could have that don't have an ace.
And he continues for 525,000.
What I'm trying to say is we have to call at least once.
Jedlička does call. Taking us to the turn, which is the 10 of spades, pairing the board and putting a second flush draw out there.
Yeah, now more stuff's beating us.
Stefan checks a second time.
We are definitely happy to check this down at this point.
Cash combined check behind. We get the 5 of hearts on the river. That shouldn't have changed much.
Our hand is too good to bluff, too bad to value bet.
Jedlička checks, and Gesh combined checks behind.
I think we have a winner.
Pair of kings is good. Gesh combined had a busted straight draw.
See? It's not always about outrageous unchecked aggression. In fact, we won this pot by literally checking our aggression.
Gesh combined the low man at the table. Stefan Jedlička, still chip leader with 11.5 million.
No, Vlad, you probably couldn't have bluffed us. Okay, maybe you could, I don't know.
He's going to tweet about it. Maybe not. So Stefan Jedlička is known as Mind Gamer online, and he's done quite well on the live circuit as well. Total tournament earnings of more than $800,000. And by reaching the final table of this tournament, he is guaranteed to leapfrog his brother Nicky on the Austrian all-time money list.
Me and my brother, we both started at the same time into the poker world. Firstly playing with friends, but then it became competitive quite fast. From the start we had kind of different approaches. He was taking more risks, learning more games. I was more on the conservative side. I guess we kind of pushed each other. Honestly, I'm happy with what I've achieved so far. It would mean a lot to me, honestly, to win this tournament.
Honey, I passed my brother on the all-time money list.
Well, Nicky's flying to Barcelona tonight, hoping to support his brother on his journey to victory. Philippe DaCosta first to act here. He folds. Jedlička has 6-5 of spades on the button. He raises to 500,000. Simunic folds the small. Vladimir Gesh combine in the big blind.
Okay, it's too much to ship.
Okay, but enough about postage prices.
He calls with Jack 7 of diamonds. Well, that's 2 pair for Jedlička and an open-ended straight draw for Gesh combine. Action's been checked to Stefan.
He flopped good, and he's the aggressor.
He bets 650,000.
Now, this is a big chunk of Vlad's stack to call, but I'm not really sure what else he can do.
He slides forward the red triangle of death, announcing that he is all in.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Uh-oh. Showdown. What do you got? I don't draw.
Gesh combine at risk and behind.
Oh, 2 pair. Nice hand. Oops.
He's got 8 outs.
When you realize you're probably going broke and you trying not to look shook.
10 on the turn.
Doppelkader.
Vladimir down to 18%.
It's an open-ender. Well, yeah. 9 and 4.
A 9 or a 4 needed for Vladimir Gesh combine to survive. The river card is a 7.
Nice one.
Gesh combine out in 4th place.
Stefan, you won. Somebody tell me won.
Good game?
Good luck. Good luck.
Cash combined will collect just over 143,000 euros.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. Don't get it in with an open ender. Good luck. Goodbye.
Am I supposed to say something?
Jedlička now has more than half the chips in play after busting Gesh combine.
I mean, I could have raised smaller, but I would have been committed anyway, so shipped it. Hoping he would have nothing as usual, but this time he had 2 pair. I got 4th place as a really big short stack, and I get half the prize money for first, so I can't complain at all.
That is a very positive and a not at all results-oriented attitude. You think he oversold it?
So we're three-handed now. Simonic on the button has ace-king.
Delicious.
Blind still 125, 250.
550.
Simonic raising to 550,000. DaCosta's out. Stefan Jedlička.
6.5.
Saved you a click.
Has ace-10.
A shove seems a little severe, but there's only one way to play this hand that doesn't require any guesswork.
All in.
Jedlička shoves on Simonic, who snap calls with the best hand.
Great spot for ace-king.
He's a 71% favorite to double up. Stefan knows he stepped in it here.
Good luck hier.
Ja, du wünschst mir nicht viel.
Besser nicht good luck. Die Hand ist viel wert. Now I can smile. Yeah, but maybe it's changed. Maybe it's changed.
The flop is king high.
Hard. I'll take a hard.
10.
And it's the jacks that Simonic has to swerve.
Yeah, one more.
Chopportunities now.
Just no check. Everything else is fine.
Crucially, Simonic can only go broke if a non-heart jack hits the river. It's a 10. That is a huge double up for Simonic, which will see him take the chip lead from Jedlička.
This guy is going handballs to the walls.
12.8 million now. Jedlička down to 10.2 million. So it's Simonic who is now in control. Want to experience the thrill of playing at a final table? Why not try qualifying for a main event at PokerStars.com? This is a city famed for its footballing superstars. But inside Casino Barcelona, it's a handball specialist who's taken control of proceedings. Josip Simonic bidding to become the Estrellas High Roller Champion on the PokerStars.com EPT.
You know, I like handball, but it was better before they published the modern rules in 1917. Just not the same game anymore.
Not sure if serious.
As serious as the IHF World Men's Handball Championships.
About 8, huh? You have 8, you have 7.
Blinds are up, by the way. 150,000, 300,000 with a 50,000 ante.
H7, tudo.
He doesn't want to hear your answer. He wants to mansplain it to you.
850.
Simonic getting frisky, raising small to big with 10 deuce.
I'd be careful playing against DaCosta blind on blind. He beat Olivier Biscay heads up for a scoop title.
Ace 3 of clubs.
Beating Olivier Biscay heads up is kind of like scoring a goal on Thierry Omeyer, the greatest handball goalie who ever lived. Seriously, read a handball book.
DaCosta defends. And flops top pair. Funnily enough, Simonic has not connected with the flop.
It was a big raise pre-flop.
925.
And an even bigger continuation bet.
Reasonable considering the action so far. I don't think he expects this is going to work a ton, as this is going to hit a lot of hands for DaCosta.
Philippe calls the 925,000. There's now 3.7 million in the middle as these two go to the turn, which is the Jack of Diamonds, and Simonic is now drawing dead.
Little late for the diamond draw, lol. Not sure I love another barrel here. He's gonna have pretty much no equity against most hands.
Wow, he fires again, and he fires big, 2 million.
He's gonna have to bet big on turn and river. DaCosta has a pretty easy call down unless Simonic makes it really tough for him on 5th Street.
That's a call. We're going to the river, 7.7 million in the middle. Four of spades, changes nothing.
Yeah, this is a bad card to try to represent. Like, why lie about getting something not that good?
Check, check.
10 high.
Like a boss. To the delight of the Brazilian rail, DaCosta wins the pot and takes the chip lead from Simonic.
Chips getting pushed away from you, that's hard to watch.
Philippe DaCosta now playing a stack of 12.7 million. Meanwhile, spare a thought for Josip Simonic. He had the chip lead for 5 minutes, and now he's the low man at the table.
Ouch. Hey, how come all good poker players are named Phil?
Well, DaCosta's live earnings are eclipsed by his online accomplishments, including that scoop title you mentioned, Joe, which was worth more than 250K.
That's a great screen name. If people think he's 52, they're going to play way different against him.
DaCosta in the small blind this time. 10-6.
Looks like we're going to see another blind-on-blind battle.
DaCosta completes. He had Lichka in the big blind. As King 3 of diamonds. He checks his option.
Okay, maybe not a battle, but blind on blind. Nevertheless.
Yeah, Lichka flops top pair. He's a 95% favorite.
This is not going to go well for Philippe if he tries to rep Stefan's hand.
He bets 350,000.
Easy call.
Yeah, Lichka does call. Turn card is a 7, so DaCosta's equity nearly quadruples as he picks up an open-ender.
Which is a key difference between this and the last blind-on-blind battle, so him double-barreling makes more sense.
He bets 725,000. Yeah, Lichka still a 4-1 favorite.
And still not folding top pair.
He calls. 2.9 million in the middle. The river card. It's a 9. DaCosta gets there.
Wow, it does happen sometimes. Must be nice.
Pure value now. 2.3 million. Huge bet.
Hoping he'll get paid off by a 6, or even better, that he'll get raised.
Lichka lays it down.
Pretty impressive fold, kind of like Brad Pitt's hip in Fight Club. You know that little line? So hot.
More cheers from the Brazilians on the rail as DaCosta increases his chip lead to 14.6 million.
DaCosta will cost you.
He has nearly as many chips as the two Austrians combined. So DaCosta now favorite to win the first prize of nearly 300,000 euros. He's a player who's used to taking on the very best in the game.
Eu agora recentemente cravei o evento 35 do Scoop. Puxei 258 mil dólares, que só o maior resultado meu mesmo, assim. Não durou muito tempo o heads up, que eu cheguei com uma diferença de ficha muito grande com ele, mas foi o Adonis, o Oliver Busquets. tipo, o cara é considerado o melhor do mundo. Também foi uma sensação indescritível no momento, né? Hoje o poker no Brasil ele vem crescendo disparado, assim. Vamos dizer que tá em revolução no poker. Eu acredito que daqui uns anos o Brasil vai ser uma potência no poker. Acho que eu ainda tô no começo dessa trajetória.
Andre Akari is on Philippe's rail, who I understand is the world's fourth most famous Brazilian after Pele, Neymar, and Blanca from Street Fighter.
Okay, comeback time. Now, you double me up. All in. Er sympathisch.
Sure.
Blinds are now 200,000, 400,000 with a 50,000 ante. DaCosta on the button. The chip leader has pocket eights.
Snowmans. Nom nom.
Raise coming. 800,000. Jedlička folds the small blind. Simunic in the big. As King Jack.
Well, that'll make a guy go all Chuckle House.
I told you. All in.
He shoves.
We gonna have a race. Get out your chips.
DaCosta calls.
Flippy flip.
Roughly 50-50.
Wait. I'm pretty confident I win, but we will see.
Needs to hit to survive.
Good luck, me.
Like cats versus dogs.
H, 8-8.
Sehr schön.
8-8 contra Rei Vala.
Ace-9, King, you know, now I win, okay?
If only it worked that way.
Andre Akari hoping that eights hold.
Heard he's a cat man.
Oh, a jack for Simunic. A flush draw for DaCosta.
An excitable people, those Brazilians.
We have a sweat.
I didn't saw it first.
Better now than when the King of Hearts comes and you think you're winning.
Queen of Spades.
The turn card is the King of Hearts.
Oh no.
It's not over. Simunic can still win with a king or a jack on the river.
I don't know if it's that funny.
The river is a heart, and DaCosta eliminates Simunic.
Simunic manages to keep on smiling. That says a lot.
Hol's wenigstens einmal, ich hab's ein bisschen verhauen.
Imagine what this crowd's going to be like if DaCosta actually wins the tournament.
Well played.
Oh, he stopped smiling now.
Okay.
Os caras ficaram pesados quando comemoraram. Eu falei, GG, velho.
Philippe DaCosta's going to go into the heads-up battle with more than a 2-1 chip lead. As we say goodbye to Josip Simunic.
I'm a little bit disappointed. Just not that I busted, the way I busted. Like I had chip lead, and then maybe the other guy had it always. But yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit stupid.
So, it's DaCosta versus Jedlička. Heads up for the Estrellas 2K High Roller title. The Brazilian has the big chip advantage. He's the favorite, so it's never been more vital for the man they call Mind Gamer to live up to his nickname. Both players looking to achieve the biggest result of their careers so far. While they've agreed a deal, DaCosta guaranteed nearly 270k, Jedlička accepting 243k. There's still 8,000 euros up for grabs, and of course, the trophy.
You know, I would never make a deal, says all the people in the audience who will literally never be in this position.
Action on Stefan Jedlička on the button in the small blind. Ace-6. He completes. Queen 10 for DaCosta.
Good hand to take a flop with.
H.
Verifying that Jedlička has roughly 8 million behind.
Is he thinking about 3-betting?
All in.
Wow, he shoves on Jedlička.
Like most Kevin Hart movies, this seems wholly unnecessary. Queen 10 flops well, and he's never getting called by worse.
He gets called by better. Well, this is practically a flip.
Dama 10, ele 6.
And if Da Costa wins this hand, he wins the title.
It's got a slight uphill battle.
Ace high still holding after the flop, but Da Costa has picked up a gut shot. Tens, jacks, and queens all working for him. Deuce on the turn. So Jedlička doubles unless Da Costa hits one of his 10 outs on the river. It's a 5, we play on.
Someone needs to explain to the one Brazilian guy clapping how ace high works.
Da Costa loses the pot and loses the chip lead.
Well played, Stefan. I especially like what you did on the turn there.
Jedlička survives and is back in control. The heads-up battle here in Barcelona continues after the break. It's the man known as Mind Gamer against the boy from Brazil to decide the Estrellas high roller. Austria's Stefan Jedlička now has the upper hand under the lights at the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona. So before the break, we saw Jedlička retake the chip lead. This next hand, we're going to play from his perspective. That's right, we're going to sweat with Stefan.
Return of the Jedlička. We're gonna use the force.
Ace 7 of clubs. Oh, I can't believe I laughed at that one. He raises to 800,000.
Lots of people can't believe they laughed at that one.
Da Costa defends his big blind.
What? Actually, I don't know. He could have anything.
Ace, king, jack on the flop. Top pair with a backdoor flush draw.
We are perfectly happy with this flop, and to continuation bet it.
Well, Da Costa's playing in flow. He's checked it to Jedlička. Stefan does continue. 900,000.
And there are lots of pieces and pairs and draws we can get called by. If we do get called, I'm not too worried about it. Uh-oh.
Da Costa check raises to 2.7 million.
Well, if he's raising for value, there are no hands we're beating. But he could also very well be bluffing, figuring we're not going to be super strong here very often either. Way too easy for him to be semi-bluffing with a queen or a 10 or spades, so we got to call.
Jedlička does call. This pot's already at 7.1 million. As we head to the turn, which is the jack of diamonds pairing the board. Actions on Da Costa. Check raise the flop.
I'd love a check.
All in.
He bets it all. Jedlička now with the decision. If he wins this hand, it's over.
I know this is going to sound crazier than an internet comment about contrails, but I really don't see Da Costa overbet shoving with trips or a full house. I kind of like a call here. I think he's going to have a draw a lot. Of course, that's easy for me to say, as it's not for basically my entire tournament, or anything to do with me at all.
Jedlička gives it up. And he had the best hand. DaCosta had a flush draw and a straight draw.
Still a ridiculously tough call to make.
So another big swing as Jedlička loses the chip lead to DaCosta.
These two are just trading haymakers, and I love it.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds really impressive.
It really is.
18 million plays 11.5 million. Blind still 200,000, 400,000 with a 50,000 ante. DaCosta first to act. King Jack of clubs. He raises it to 800,000. Jedlička has a pair, 8.
It doesn't have to all go in pre-flop, but I don't see either player really slowing down or folding.
Three bet from Jedlička, 2.4 million.
Now, DaCosta can call in position, but he may also elect to just see all 5 cards.
All in.
DaCosta shoves. And Jedlička calls. It's a race. And DaCosta is flipping for the title.
A flip for 23 million chips. Holy.
Vai dar nós, filho, vai dar nós. Essa é nossa, essa é nossa.
23 million chips if it goes one way, the title if it goes the other.
You rub that flag, Enrique. DaCosta looking to hit a king or a jack or a bunch of clubs or straight cards to take home the trophy.
Lots of ways to win this.
8's holding after the flop.
King Jack is looking like it's in big trouble now.
Turn card is a 6. Jedlička set for the double up here. No additional outs for DaCosta. Stefan becomes monster chip leader unless there's a king or a jack on the river. 6 cards that could see DaCosta win it. It's another ace. We play on.
Massive pot. The chip lead has changed hands more times than the baton in a relay race, but Jedlička's got to be the huge favorite now.
Yeah, another big swing, which sees Jedlička with pretty much all the chips. DaCosta now playing fewer than 20 big blinds.
By the way, that's what a haymaker is. It's literally a big swing in a boxing match.
Oh. Hashtag fun facts. Jedlička first to speak. 6-5. He just calls. 10-8 for DaCosta. He checks his option.
No need to make this pot any bigger.
Ace, ace, queen. Both players missed the flop. DaCosta checks.
We can see DaCosta's in the league, but this hand is going to come down to purely the power of position and the chip lead.
Yep, 400,000 from Jedlička gets the job done.
And Jedlička leans on DaCosta just a little bit harder.
Stefan now incredibly close to getting his hands on that trophy. It's DaCosta's action. He has King-9 offsuit. He calls.
I like the limp in, maybe get a cheap flop.
Unlikely, Stefan Jedlička has queens.
Yeah, cheap flop's not happening.
The Austrian's going to raise. That's a total of 1.2 million.
Even though this is for a big chunk of his chips, I think a call here is fine from DaCosta. He's got no fold equity, and he can't really shove for value either. I think a lot of people would just shove here.
DaCosta calls. Going to play the flop with position.
How much behind, do you think?
5, 6, no, 5, 7.
4-7.
Flop better, Jedlička, top set.
Well, the worst thing that could happen to Costa now would be him shoving here or catching a king on the turn.
Jedlička playing it slow, checks the action. Da Costa checks behind. And that card is likely to cost Da Costa every chip he has.
It's over.
Jedlička making a delayed continuation bet.
Gotta be loving this king hitting.
1.4 million.
Costa could very easily get it in here.
No, he just calls.
Well, it's all going in on the river then.
Deuce on the river, pretty much a brick.
Here we go.
All in.
Jedlička shoves on Da Costa. He calls all in, and that'll do it. Stefan Jedlička wins the 2K Estrellas High Roller.
Pretty big cooler on the end there, but what a comeback from Stefan Jedlička.
Commiserations for Da Costa from the Brazilian rail.
Best part.
Stefan Jedlička will lift the trophy.
Jetzt gibt's Pokal. Geil, oder?
I wonder what the Portuguese word for congratulations is.
Big scores for both players, especially when you consider this was a €2,000 buy-in event. And because of the deal, Da Costa actually receives more money than Jedlička. But it's not just about the cash. It's also about the trophy, and that belongs to the man they call Mind Gamer.
Coming in today as the chip leader, I knew I had a good shot, but I also knew that a lot can happen. All in.
Jedlička shoves on Simunic, who snap calls with the best hand. It's a 10. That is a huge double up for Simunic.
Going into heads up with Felipe, I was a 2-1 dog, chip-wise. I knew I had to get lucky. I think he played really well.
Da Costa shoves, and Jedlička calls. It's a race, and Da Costa is flipping for the title. It's another ace. We play on.
Glitch has got to be the huge favorite now.
All in.
He calls all in, and that'll do it. Stefan Jedlička wins the 2K Estrellas High Roller.
What a comeback from Stefan Jedlička.
After all these years on the tour to finally win one, feels amazing.